Welcome to our 2016 series of the Overland Workshop. My name is Andrew St. Pierre White.
And I'm Paul Marsh.
Namibia, one of Southern Africa's most popular tourist destinations. Here is a staggering statistic. 25% of all of the people that visit this country and rent a vehicle for their trip end up with the vehicle upside down at the side of the road and them dead or injured. That means that when you take your vehicle into Southern Africa, there is a 1 in 4 chance, 1 in 4, that you are going to end up in the bushes, injured or perhaps killed. That is a frightening statistic, actually not altogether accurate. The fact is that it's not as if 1 in 4 vehicles that are hired in Namibia end up upside down. It's that of all rental vehicles in Namibia have a 1 in 4 chance of sometime in their life ending up upside down. Maybe it's not quite as scary as, but to me, that's still pretty scary. I'm going to teach you now a technique that will move you from the 1 in 4 to the 1 in 104. It's a simple technique, easy to learn, easy to do. And this is it. Don't drive fast. Don't drive fast. Simple as that. The statistics say that 90% plus of those people that have these accidents, there is no other vehicle involved and there is excessive speed. These are statistics, these are facts, they cannot be argued. And Namibia is just one country. Other countries in Southern Africa share the same problem. They all have high quality gravel roads where it's easy to drive fast, but it's not safe to drive fast. So you might be asking the question, well, how fast is fast? I'll tell you how fast is. 81 kilometers an hour is fast. 80 kilometers an hour is not too fast. Now I'm making this very simplistic, but if you're driving on one of these like this is absolutely typical. If you're driving on one of these beautifully kept gravel roads in Southern Africa and you're doing 81 kilometers an hour or more, you have moved yourself voluntarily into the 1 in 4 statistic. You've done it yourself. However, if you stay 80 or below, you're now in the 1 in 104 statistic. So you must now make the decision where you want to be. Now, the reason for it is that driving on these roads is so different from anything else on almost any other continent. Sure, if you're an experienced driver, you've been through Southern Africa, you've been through South America, yes, you will have experience. That's fine. I understand that, but most don't. And most get trapped by the idea that this is smooth. It's nice to drive fast, and they don't understand the dangers. So, on a road like this, 80 kilometers an hour or under, whatever's comfortable. Now I'm going to teach you a technique that'll move you from the 1 in 104 to the 1 in 1004. And that is engage four-wheel drive. Many experienced four-wheel drivers will say, but you don't need four-wheel drive. Well, you don't need your seatbelt, do you? Why do you need a seatbelt? You don't need a seatbelt. You don't need really high quality tires. You don't need to check their pressures. You're silly if you don't. I'm sorry, it's exactly the same thing with four-wheel drive. If you don't engage four-wheel drive on a slippery surface, you're silly if you don't, because there's a safety part of this vehicle. This vehicle is full of safety. It's got properly designed seat belts. It's got great tires. It's got rollover protection. It's got a bunch of things to help keep passengers safe. And it's got another thing that is just neglected in terms of a safety feature. It's called four-wheel drive. Why are four-wheel drives the best choice when driving on roads like this and touring outback Africa? They're the best choice because, well, actually, not because they can drive through riverbeds where four-wheel drive is needed. It's because they can drive on roads like this safely. Four-wheel drive makes all the difference in the world to your safety. Use it.
Let me show you how to engage H2, which we drive on all the tar roads or hard surfaces, to the sand roads we're going to engage to H4. The lever down here, currently we're in H2. H2 on the lever, and we want to go into H4. That's high range four-wheel drive. Very easily, I've stopped the vehicle, pull it across back into, and if it doesn't want to go back in, put it into first gear and gently release the clutch, and you'll find that it engages slightly. You're not trying to drive hard, you're just trying to start moving, and as you start moving you'll find that it slips into H4. Right, the Land Rovers have also got a center transmission lock, which takes this vehicle, known as a permanent four-wheel drive vehicle, but actually the power is not split equally until you engage the center transmission lock. Now the center transmission lock is a simple movement of a lever. While you're driving in high range, you can shift the lever out of diff lock, out of center transmission lock into center transmission lock. The light on the dashboard here will indicate that the center transmission is locked up, which means basically you're getting a 50-50 split between the front and the rear, and that is actually in proper four-wheel drive.
More about the speed question. This road is obviously an unkept gravel road. And the trouble is with unkept gravel roads, well, you have to deal with this stuff. It's like marble. You're literally driving on loose rock. Your grip is severely compromised. So if you continue to drive at 80 kilometers an hour on a road like this, you're back in the 1 in 4 category, the 1 in 4 chance of leaving the road and having a terrible accident. So on a road like this, I recommend down to 60. 61 is too fast on a road like this. And often on an unkept road, you'll find ditches, you'll find washaways, you'll find your speed varies enormously. Be careful. Don't let it exceed 60 on a road like this. Stay on the safe side. The other part that I'm going to talk about now is the vehicle. Notice I got my headlamps on. I've got my headlamps on because of dust. Cars just past us now, thick clouds of dust. You've got to keep yourself visible to other vehicles passing or coming towards you. Headlights on all the time. In fact, in Namibia, it's law across the country, doesn't matter what road you're driving on, but in gravel, headlights on. When you have a vehicle coming in the opposite direction, he might be driving in the 1 in 4 chance category of leaving the road and turning over. So what you do to stay on the safe side is slow down, wait for him to pass, and speed back up again. It's all about common sense and understanding the threats that face you.
Did you enjoy that? Then please subscribe. If you'd like to take our relationship to the next level from just $1 a month to support my productions, or if you'd like to download everything I've ever made, go to forexoverland.com.